Good morning and welcome to another day in our homeschool. I know I haven't vlogged for a long time. We've been busy, I've been tired, and Jacob has been dealing with asthma, which is new to us. So that's why our homeschool has also been a little bit erratic these past 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, because we've been going back and forth for doctor's checkups. But we're okay. Today, I just wanted to share with you a few updates in our homeschool, specifically how we do narrations. And I wanted to share this because we started on our new writing curriculum, Writing and Rhetoric, last week, and we were doing lesson 1. And there are many videos about writing and rhetoric on YouTube, but personally, lesson 1 pa lang, we already love it, and I can see now why so many moms rave about writing and rhetoric. Yesterday, we continued with lesson 1, which is activities or exercises on writing based on the Lion and the Mouse fable. So I'll just give you a quick look at the student workbook and what he's done. So lesson 1 starts with a short explanation of what a fable is and proceeds straight to the reading of the fable. And then the student needs to tell it back or narrate it. We're already familiar with this because of Charlotte Mason, obviously. There are also talk about it questions, comprehension questions for discussion, and some questions that the student needs to answer, written answers. He's supposed to provide written answers. But what I like about it is that I can add activities to complement the activities on the workbook. So what I did was, on the first day that we did it, which was September 3, I asked him to narrate, to tell back the fable. He is used to narrating and has provided even longer narrations in the past of the different books or texts that we've read. So narrating this really short fable was quite easy for him, but still a very good exercise. Sometimes I think that shorter texts are actually much better for narration because Jacob can retain the stories much better. But also, it's also good exercise to provide more longer texts for narration, or longer, not more longer, longer stories for narration. And so this is his narration for September 3. And yesterday, September 9, I asked him to narrate it again. And I was really pleased. I made him listen to these. I record these narrations on my phone, and after he narrated yesterday, I asked him to listen to his narration from September 3, and asked him what was the difference between those two narrations. What were the differences between those two narrations? And immediately he was able to pick up on those differences. He said that he sounded more majestic. And you will only realize that if you hear his narrations from both dates, which I can put at the end of this video. And he also said that he used better vocabulary in his second narration. And I did notice that he used different words and harder words actually. So it's a really good exercise when I asked him to narrate the same fable twice, days apart. You can really see the difference, and it's just a test to how much the student has retained, how much of the story the student has retained. So it's also good to transcribe their narration. So I just use my phone to record it, and then I transcribe it. This is actually the first narration from third grade that we've transcribed, but I will show you. This one is our second grade folder of all his narrations, or actually not even all, because I know that I still have a lot of backlogs from second grade, a lot of backlog narrations, but I'm gonna show you the folders. We have narrations from when we read Around the Year Once Upon a Time Saints, Beautiful Stories from Shakespeare by Edith Nesbit. I'm gonna show this to you later. Catholic Traditions and Treasures, Great Scientists and Their Discoveries. Let's Read and Find Out Science. From literature, okay, so this is just one story from, I think when we read Childcraft, or some story I found on the internet. This is the folder for On the Shores of the Great Sea, Philippine History, Story of the Bible, and Under the Home Science. Let's take a look at Beautiful Stories from Shakespeare. So for Beautiful Stories from Shakespeare, he narrated A Midsummer Night's Dream. And of course, I have here some prompts, and there are some questions that he is able to expound on much longer. What else? This is his narration of Romeo and Juliet. Okay, so in second grade, I narrate verbatim, like exactly how he said it. That's why, see here, I did not correct. He said, on the most beautifulest thing. Okay, so of course that is that is not the right way to express that. Okay, but I just typed it as is. I just transcribed it as is. Even here, he said she went to her room. And the goal here is, once you've transcribed it and you've printed it, you're supposed to read it with him again, or I read it with him again, so that he can see his mistakes. Okay? I will let him read his narration for him to spot his mistakes, his grammar mistakes, his spelling mistakes, or on those parts when he used words that might not be the best fit for the idea that he's trying to impart. Let's see. On the Shores of the Great Sea, these are his narrations. And what I also do is I upload the voice, the recordings, the files onto our Google Drive. That's why our Google Drive is, we got the bigger storage because all our narrations are there, and also some of our vlogs. What else? So this is Once Upon a Time Saints. Once Upon a Year. Okay. Here, there are no prompts. I just let him narrate. And as you can see, yeah, this is a very long narration. And of course, we know that if a child enjoys the story, if it is really a living book, if it's a living story, not just dry facts, but with, fantastic vocabulary, then it would be, much easier for him to narrate it. So there. That is how we do narration. And also, yesterday we actually narrated also a chapter from Story of the World. And if you're familiar with that, Story of the World has an accompanying activity book where you have the prompts, so you don't have to think of the prompts. The book already has that. Okay, after this, I'm also going to show a video of him narrating a picture study, okay, from Under the Home. So you might see his face for a while, but it's okay because it's only a short bit. So anyway, that's just an update from our homeschool.
And now we come to the famous painting, The Great Wave of Tanadawa by Tatsushita Hokusai. In this painting, we see a road wave reaching to Tanadawa, with many waves were reaching like claws. As a road wave terrorizes the little boats and men here. And Mount Fuji and the serene Mount Fuji so watches the life and death struggle of the men. And the serene and some of the serene beauty of this painting resulted from Hokusai's great smarts of putting the sea spray here. Quite smart. And even I don't know what these Japanese language symbols mean, but I think they probably mean that the Tatsushita Hokusai signed his name on his very nice painting.
Oh, let's see.
And
let's find out if that's correct.
And that is all I have got to tell you about. Anyway, our tour of the museum is over. Hand us some change. Hand us a tip. So
I will pay you for that museum. Okay,
for
hold
this
on.
museum
Can I
visit.
ask you something first? Okay, so can you tell me about something about the artist Katsushika Hokusai? Okay, can you tell me about the technique he used to make this painting?
Well, it's hard to pronounce. I don't really remember how it's spelled, and maybe it's
Ukiyo?
Ukiyo-i. Ukiyo-i.
Okay, what is that? What is that process?
It's a art genre.
Genre.
Showing lots of things that can show lots of things like sumo wrestlers, landscapes, Japanese dances. Yeah, lots of things like that. The Hokusai began painting at age 6, probably because his father was a man who built mirrors.
Okay, he built mirrors. So how does that relate to his work?
Once Sometimes Hokusai would change his name several times. Lots of names. In fact, I can't even remember them.
Okay.
Hokusai died at the age 88, and that is all I can remember.
Okay.
The tour is over.
All right. Thank you.
My name is Jacob, and I am narrating one of Aesop's greatest fables, The Lion and the Mouse. A lion was once sleeping near a tree in the savannah. A mouse came along and was so scared and wanted to get away very fast. So the mouse stampered across the lion's nose. The lion, roused from his nap, immediately awoke and laid his paw on the poor creature to kill her. "Please spare me!" cried the small mouse. "Spare me, and I will surely help you one day." The lion was amused to think that a mouse would be able to help him. But since he laughed so hard that the whole ground shook. But as he was a generous lion, he let the poor creature go. Some days later, his lion was stalking his prey, but until snap, he was suddenly trapped in the toils of a hunter's net. Unable to get out, he filled the forest with he filled the savannah with his angry roars. The mouse, recognizing the voice, ran to help the lion and gnawed through one of the ropes until the lion was free. "You laughed when I told you that I could help you," said the mouse. "But now now you know that even a mouse can help a lion." Ending narration. This is Jacob narrating The Lion and the Mouse from Aesop's Fables. A lion was once taking a nap in the wild savannah. A mouse came along and was so frightened and wanted to get away so much that she scurried down the lion's nose. The lion, aroused from his nap, awakened from his slumber and put his mighty paw on the poor creature to kill her. "Oh, spare me, great queen of the savannah, and I will surely repay you one day." The lion was amused to think that that a mouse would be able to help him. He laughed very hard, in fact, that the whole ground shook. But since he was a tiny lion, he let the mouse go. One day, as the lion was stalking his prey, he was suddenly caught in the snares of a hunter's net. He tried to get out, but he couldn't. He roared very loud, and his voice echoed across the vast savannah. The mouse, recognizing the voice, scurried over to the lion and gnawed on one of the ropes that toiled him until the lion was free. "You laughed when I said I could repay you, and now you know that even a mouse can help a lion." End of narration.